Hello and welcome YouTube friends. My name is Lou. I am a yoga teacher and a strength and conditioning coach. And today I have for you a 45-minute heart opening vinyasa practice. So as we come through the last few days of Sagittarius season, we're really going to be looking to lean into our sense of expansiveness, our sense of growth, abundance, and heart opening. So let's get straight into it. We're going to start today's practice in a seated position. So you're more than welcome to grab a block, a cushion, anything that will enable you to come into an easeful seat. And then I'll just invite you here to close the eyes. And if closing the eyes doesn't feel comfortable, you can just soften your gaze down at the ground. And as we arrive into the practice, we'll take a moment here just to check in, as always, with the quality, the textures of the breath. And without the need to change or fix anything, just observing whatever it is that you notice. And as you begin to deepen your awareness of the physical body, just taking a moment to notice if your torso is leaning forwards in space. And if it is, can you pull your heart space energetically back towards your spine? Maybe you take a couple of shoulder rolls going back here, bringing the shoulders up to the ears and then softening them back and down the spine. And we'll open the practice with what is known as a physiological sigh. So we'll take a full breath in through the nose. And then at the top of the inhale, we're going to sip in one extra little bit of air and then exhale through the nose or the mouth. So whenever you're ready, let's take a breath in. A little bit more. And then let it go. Good, breathing in. Sipping a bit more. And then let it go. One last time, a full breath in. A tiny bit more. And let it go. And let's tuck the chin in towards the chest. We're just going to gently wake up through the traps, through the sides of the neck with some gentle half neck rolls. So bringing the right ear towards the right shoulder and then rolling through center, left ear, left shoulder. And consciously softening through the jaw, the muscles in the face. Letting the shoulders soften down the backs of the ribs. Okay. And from here, coming back through a center, we're going to come into a tabletop position. So roughly stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over the knees. Just to start with, and we're just going to start by shifting the weight forwards and backwards over the wrists. And consciously spreading through the fingers, pressing down into the knuckles. Good, and then maybe you begin to shift from side to side. And then come back through center. Reach the hands forwards to the front of the mat. Anahatasana, melting heart pose. So shifting hips back and up, and then soften your chest towards the mat. It doesn't need to touch, it's still early in the practice, so just moving as far as feels comfortable. And here you can either tuck the chin and rest the forehead on the mat, or you can rest the chin on the mat if that feels okay for the back of the neck. And breathing spaciousness into the armpits, all the way through the side ribs. Good, and then we'll engage, lift up, gaze between the hands if you're not already, and then walk the hands all the way over to the left side of the mat. Your right hand, turn that hand so that it's facing in, thumb facing up, and then shift all the way back into that right side hip. Just targeting through the lats here, the big muscles that support the shoulders. And then from this position, keeping that right hand as it is, thumb facing up, we're going to move through some cat-cow style movements through the pelvis and the spine. And just moving to your own pattern, rhythm of breath here. Inhaling and exhaling as you curl and arch through the spine. Beautiful, and then come back through center, walk the hands all the way over to the right, exactly the same thing. This time left hand turns onto its side, thumb facing up, and then sink all the way back into that left side hip. And then from this position, once again, we curl and arch through the spine, moving with the breath, almost kind of like this pulsating motion, just hydrating through the spine, through the shoulders. Nice. Alrighty, let's come back through center. Come back to your tabletop position. We're going to continue with these cat-cow movements. Maybe you feel a little bit more adventurous, curious in your cat-cow, and begin to incorporate through the elbows, the shoulders. Maybe you roll forwards into an upward facing dog variation. As always, there's no right or wrong here. So just seeing if you can move your body in all directions. Beautiful. Alrighty, coming back through center. Let's anchor into the hands once again. Spread the fingers. I want you to lift your palms off of the mat. So just pressing into the knuckles. Lift all the way up to the fingertips, back down to the knuckles, and then the palms. We'll go again. Knuckles, fingertips, knuckles, palms, knuckles, fingertips, knuckles, palms. Good. 2 more times, getting the wrists nice and warm. See if you can keep the shoulders over the wrists if possible. You might have a natural inclination to shift back into the hips. Awesome. Alrighty, did an extra one there for good luck. Let's reach the hands forwards, tuck under the toes, and then fly the sit bones high to your first downward facing dog. And as always, we'll just continue moving here, pedaling out the feet, shifting hips and pelvis from side to side. Maybe you give the head a little shake. Yes, no. Maybe you move through a couple of body rolls, forwards to high plank, and then snaking the spine back to downward facing dog. Alrighty, so whenever you're ready, coming back to center, we'll ground into the left foot, take the right leg up to the sky, 3-leg dog. Then we'll bend this top knee, maybe draw some circles through the hip or the ankle, and being mindful of that left side shoulder. Good, and then we'll press all the way back to three-leg dog. Roll forwards, knee to nose. We hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Listen up. We're going to cross the right ankle on top of that left knee and then take a big bend back into that left knee, pressing into that outer right hip. So we've kind of got figure 4 or reclined pigeon legs. Good. Keep anchoring into that right side hand. Beautiful. Alrighty, from here we roll forwards, unravel that right leg, take it all the way back to a three-leg dog. We're going to bend this top knee once again. See if you can shift your weight into your left side hand. Maybe you come up onto the fingertips of that right hand. Maybe you slowly float that right hand off. Option to catch hold of that right foot or ankle here in this kind of two-leg downward facing dog variation. Good work. If you've got hold of the foot, mindfully release that right hand down. Press back to your three-leg dog. We're going to roll forwards with that right leg lifted. Good, firing up the core here. Let's squeeze the right heel in towards that right side glute. Option to lower the left knee down here if this feels a little bit too strong. We're going to mindfully lower down to the belly for the count of 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Keep squeezing that right heel in. We're going to reach the left arm forwards. Catch hold of your right foot or ankle with your right hand. Gaze towards the mat so that you've got nice length through the back of the neck. And then we're going to press into the pubic bone, lifting the legs, the arms off. In this kind of prone dancer's pose, Natarajasana. Good, holding here for one more breath. And then mindfully release all the way down. Let's extend the left arm out long. Place your right fingertips beside your right side ribs and then roll all the way onto that left side shoulder for broken wing. Option here to stack the legs, or you can place that right foot down behind you if that feels okay. And keep breathing into the back of the neck, into that left side chest. Good, and then mindfully rolling through center. Place the hands down beside the middle ribs, tuck under the toes, shift it all the way back into a high child's pose, toes tucked. And then from here, ground into the fingers, send the sit bones all the way back, downward facing dog. Good job. Let's move through the other side, taking the left leg up to the sky, three-leg dog. From here, once again, maybe you bend that top knee, draw some circles either through the ankle or the hip. And then extend back to three-leg dog. Draw that knee into the nose. We hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Cross the left ankle on top of the right this time. Bend into your right knee as you press your hips all the way back. Breathing deep into that left side glute, outer hip. Keep anchoring into the fingers. Good. And then we mindfully roll forwards, unravel that left side leg, take it all the way back, three-leg dog. From here, shifting the weight into the right side hand this time. Let's bend that left knee once again. Option to come up onto the fingertips of that left hand. Maybe you slowly begin to float that left hand off, catching hold of the left foot or ankle in this two-leg downward facing dog variation. Lengthening through the spine, anchoring into that right hand. If you've got hold of that left foot, mindfully release that left hand down. From here, we're gonna roll forwards, high plank with that left leg lifted. Squeeze that left heel in towards the left bum cheek. Option to lower that right side knee. Once again, let's come all the way down for 3, 2, and 1. Good work. Keep squeezing that left side heel. Let's reach the right arm in front. Left hand catches hold of the left foot or the ankle. Gaze towards the mat as you slowly begin to lift, firming the glutes, lifting the arms and the legs as high as you can. Holding here for one more breath. And then slowly release all the way down. Good job. Let's extend the right arm out long this time. Left hand places down beside the ribs as you roll onto that right side. Option to stack the legs, or you can place the left foot behind you. Holding here for one more breath. So good. And then mindfully release through center. Let's plant the hands, tuck the toes, shift it all the way back. High child's pose. And then ground into the fingertips as you send the sit bones all the way back to a downward facing dog. Good work. Alrighty, let's get into our flow. We'll take the right leg up to the sky. Exhale, roll forwards, big step through between the hands, coming into a low runner's lunge, torso to the thigh, sending that left heel all the way towards the back of the mat. Good. From here, we ground into that front leg as we straighten the front leg. Stay on the ball of the back foot as you shift your hips all the way back into this wide pyramid pose stance. From here, we roll forwards, bend the knee, gaze up. Exhale, shift it back. One more time. Inhale as you reach. Exhale, shift it back. Come forwards, low lunge once again. Left hand plants down. Right arm reaches to the sky. Option for some rolling Cleopatras here. Coming onto the blade edge of both feet as you reach that right arm behind you. Exhale, lift the hips as you press up and over. Option to straighten that front leg. Let's go again. Inhale as you sink the hips towards the ground. Exhale as you push. Gaze to the front left corner of the mat. Pivot on your feet. Your back foot is parallel to the edge of the mat as you reach your arms forwards into a high Skandasana fold. Beautiful. Let's walk all the way through center, meeting in Prasarita Padottanasana. Inhale as you lift the chest. Exhale to fold. We're going to keep the left hand where it is. Reach the right arm up to the sky. From here, we feed that right arm all the way through, catching hold of the outside of that left shin, ankle, or foot. Good. Let's reach up one last time. Breath in. Exhale, thread the needle. Mindfully unravel. We walk the hands to the back of the mat. Frame your left foot. Coming up to warrior two. Let's reach the fingertips forwards. Big bend into that left knee. We flip the front palm as we reverse. Option to interlace the right hand to the inside of that left hip. We straighten into that front leg as we lower towards the ground. Find Trikonasana, triangle pose. Sweep your right arm back and around as you bend your front knee. Frame that right foot. Step back to high plank. Option here to move through a vinyasa. And I'll meet you in downward facing dog. And coming back to the breath. Let's flow through that right side once again. Right leg reaches to the sky. Exhale, big step through between the hands. Low runner's lunge. Let's gaze up. Exhale, shift the hips back, straighten that front leg. Wide pyramid pose. We roll forwards, breath in. Exhale, shift it back. Good. Let's come forwards to low lunge. Left hand plants down. Right arm reaches. Option to roll here through some Cleopatras, reaching the right arm behind you. Exhale as you push and lift. Option to straighten that front leg. Let's go one more time. Inhale as you sink the hips down. Exhale as you push. Gaze to the front left corner of the mat. Pivot on your feet. Find your high Skandasana fold. Anchoring into the blade edge of that back left foot. We walk the hands through center, meeting in Prasarita Padottanasana. Inhale as you lift the chest. Exhale, we fold. Left hand stays where it is. Right arm reaches to the sky. Find a twist. We thread the needle with this right arm, sweeping it all the way through, catching hold of the outside of that left shin or ankle. Good. Let's reach it up one last time. Breath in. Exhale, reach it through. Unravel from your twist, walk the hands back to the front of the mat. Ground into the blade edge of that back foot as you find Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. We flip that front palm as we reverse, option to take the bind to the inside of that left hip. And then mindfully we straighten into that front leg as we fold towards that front foot, finding Trikonasana, triangle pose. Let's sweep that right arm back and around as you frame your left foot. Take a big step back to high plank. Option to flow through a chaturanga. Inhale for upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's arrive here with a breath in and a breath out. Good job. Let's take the left leg up to the sky. Exhale, big step through between the hands. Low runner's lunge, spread the collarbones. Exhale, straighten that front leg, wide pyramid pose. We roll through the two shapes here, breathing forwards, gaze up. Exhale, shifting it back. Good, we roll forwards, right hand plants down, left arm reaches. From here, option to roll through Cleopatra as you reach that left hand back. Exhale, straighten into that front leg as you reach up and over. We're on the blade edges of the feet here. Inhale as you reach behind. Exhale as you push. Front right corner of the mat this time as you bend into that left side knee, finding your folding Skandasana. Good, lifting up for Prasarita Padottanasana. Inhale as you lift the chest. Exhale, we fold. Good, this time right hand stays where it is. Left arm reaches to the sky. We thread the needle with this left arm, feeding it all the way through. Catch hold of the outside of that right shin, foot, or ankle. We flow here. Inhale as you unravel to the sky. Exhale as you feed it through. Walk the hands to the back of the mat, frame your right foot, anchor into the blade edge of the back foot as you cartwheel the arms up and over, Warrior 2. Option to take the bind here as you flip the front palm and reverse. Straighten into your front leg as you fold forwards, forwards, forwards. Find Trikonasana, triangle pose. Left arm sweeps back and around as you frame your right foot. Big step back to high plank pose. Option to lower through chaturanga or to the knees. Inhale for upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. So good. Let's take the left leg up one last time. Exhale, big step through between the hands. Lift the chest, breath in. Exhale, wide pyramid pose. Rolling forwards, breath in. Exhale, shift it back. Roll forwards one last time. Right hand plants down, left arm reaches. Blade edges of the feet as you sweep the left arm behind you. Press into that front leg as you sweep up and over. So good. One last time. Inhales, you reach it back. Exhales, you push. Front right corner of the mat. Wide Skandasana fold, reaching the arms in front of you, melting the heart towards the earth. Let's walk through center, meeting in Prasarita Padottanasana. Inhales, you lift the chest. Exhale, we fold. Right hand stays where it is. Inhales, you lift that left arm to the sky. Exhale, feed that left arm through, finding your twist. Let's go one last time here. Inhale to unravel. Exhale to twist. Let's walk the hands back to the front of the mat. Frame your right foot. Find Virabhadrasana 2, reaching the fingertips forwards. Option to take the bind of that left arm to the right hip as you flip and reverse. And then straighten into your front leg as you reach forwards, forwards, for Trikonasana, triangle pose. Let's sweep that left arm back and around as you frame that right foot. High plank pose. Option to lower through the knees as you move to Chaturanga. Inhale for upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And let's land here with a breath in and a breath out. So good. Alrighty, let's take the right leg up to the sky. We're going to bend this top knee once again for a breath. Option to lower your left forearm to the ground. So you're in this kind of half forearm downward facing dog. So good. Keep pressing back through that right side knee, keeping that right leg lifted. Good. Let's press all the way back up to our 3-leg dog right side. Exhale, roll forwards. Big step through between the hands. Good work. Let's lift the chest into our low runner's lunge. Exhale, shift it all the way back. Wide pyramid pose. We're going to roll here just once with the breath. Inhales, you come forwards. Exhale, shift it back. Beautiful. Let's come forwards through our low lunge once again. Stack your knee roughly on top of your ankles. You reach your arms forwards. Find extended arrowhead pose. Thumbs facing up, reaching your torso over that front right thigh. Beautiful. Let's bring the hands behind the head here and then peel your elbows up towards the ceiling. We're going to take a little twist towards the left. So the left elbow comes towards the ground. Right elbow reaches up towards the sky. So good. Alrighty, let's place the left hand down. Keep extending that right arm up to the sky. Come into your twisted lunge. Option to hold here, or option to pick up that right leg and take it behind you, lifting the hips, the heart up towards the sky, finding wild thing. Meeting the shape just for a breath. And then if you're in wild thing, same transition, back towards the back of the mat, taking that right leg forwards beside that left hand. From here we flow through some rolling Cleopatras. Let's reach it all the way back. Breath in. Exhale as you push. One more time with the breath. Inhale to reach. Exhale, push. Let's walk to that front left corner of the mat. Come into your high Skandasana pose, reaching the arms forwards. We meet in the center of the mat, Prasarita Padottanasana. This time we're going to interlace the peace fingers around the big toe. Pull the rib cage, the heart space forwards. Torso is parallel to the mat. And then as you exhale, bend into the elbows and fold. Let's do that one last time. Inhale as you lift. Send the hips back, the heart forwards, and then exhale, fold. So good. Unravel the hands. We're going to walk the hands to the back of the mat. Coming onto the ball of the back foot, we're going to press all the way up here into this kind of wide pyramid stance. So front leg is straight, ball of the back foot is lifted. Find cactus arms here. So as though somebody's pulling your elbows behind you. So good. Let's interlace the hands behind the back, squeeze the shoulders together. And for the count of 5, we're going to very slowly fold into our pyramid pose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's plant the hands, bend that front knee, press forwards, find standing split. Taking that right leg up towards the sky. Holding here for one more breath. Okay, so from your standing split, if your pelvis is not level to the ground, level off the pelvis, that does mean that your right leg will most likely be a little bit lower, toes facing down. From here, I want you to squeeze your right heel in towards your right glute once again. Now take as much of a bend into this left knee as you need to. We're going to reach back and catch hold of that right foot or ankle. Keeping as much of a level pelvis as you can. We're going to slowly begin to press into that left foot as we lift all the way up, finding dancer's pose, Nata Rajasana. Using that left arm as counterbalance. Pressing back into that right foot or ankle. Holding here for one more breath. So good. Alrighty, let's mindfully lift up, knees together. Then we take a big step back, find warrior 2. Option to take the bind here as you reach that left arm up to the sky. We straighten into that front leg, find Trikonasana, left hand meets the shin or the ground, right hand meets the sky. Let's sweep that right arm back and around, bend into your front knee as you frame your left foot. Option to flow through the knees as you move through Chaturanga. Inhale for the back bend of your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a moment here, breath in and breath out. Amazing work, everyone. Let's take the left leg up to the sky. Once again, we're going to bend this left knee. Maybe you start to lower that right forearm down to the ground. Finding your half downward facing dog, half dolphin position. Good. If you've got that forearm on the ground, can you press back up, extend that left leg out long, 3-leg dog. Exhale, big step through between the hands. Find your low lunge. Inhale as you lift the chest. Back heel stays lifted as you exhale and fold, wide pyramid pose. Let's go again. Inhale as you lift. Exhale, we fold. So good. Coming forward, let's stack the knee over the ankle as we slowly lift up. Find your extended arrowhead pose. Thumbs facing up. We interlace the hands behind the back of the head now as we pull the elbows up towards the ceiling. Torso reaches over that front left thigh. Let's twist to the left. Right elbow comes towards the ground. Left elbow reaches up towards the ceiling. Good. Let's unravel the hands. Right hand meets the ground. Left arm reaches to the sky. Twisted lunge. Option here to hold for a breath. Option to transition into wild thing by grounding into that right hand, picking that left foot up and placing it behind you, lifting the hips, the heart towards the sky. Once again, just meeting the shape for a breath before you transition all the way back to the front of the mat. Come back into your twisted lunge. From here we flow, blade edge of the both feet as you reach the left arm behind you. Exhale as we push and lift. So good. Inhale as you reach it back. Exhale as you push. Front left corner of the mat, find your wide Skandasana fold. Reaching the arms forwards, anchoring into that back foot. Let's lift all the way up through center. Find your Prasarita Padottanasana. Once again, we're going to interlace the peace fingers around the big toe. Send your hips back and your heart forwards. Almost using the arms here, pulling the shoulders back as leverage to create length through the spine. Let's take a full breath in. Exhale, bend the elbows, press down into the big toes as you fold. Let's do that one more time. Inhale to lift. Exhale, fold. Beautiful. Let's walk the hands towards the back of the mat. Frame your right foot. Come up onto the ball of the back foot as you slowly begin to lift all the way up. Find your wide standing pyramid stance. Ball of the back foot is lifted as you cactus the elbows. Press your heart forwards. So good. Let's interlace the hands behind the back. Squeeze the shoulders together. We're going to very slowly and mindfully lower down into a pyramid for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend into that front knee as you plant the hands. Find standing split. Left leg reaches to the sky. Keep squeezing that left glute. Point the toes. Holding for one more breath. Okay, from here, once again, let's level off the pelvis. Squeeze that left heel in towards that left glute and take as much of a bend into this right supporting leg as you need to. We're going to reach back with that left hand, catching hold of the foot or the ankle. From here, we spread the toes of that right foot as we mindfully begin to press all the way up into a Natarajasana dancer's pose. Pressing the heart forwards, pulling that left collarbone back, using that right arm as counterbalance. So good. Let's mindfully unravel. Bring the knees together. Then we take a big step back. Warrior two. Blade edge of the back foot is parallel to the end of the mat. Option to take the bind here as you flip that front palm and reverse. We reach forwards, forwards, forwards as you straighten that front leg. Right hand comes to the shin or to the ground as you reach the left arm to the sky. Beautiful. Let's sweep that left arm back and around. Frame your right foot. High plank pose. Option here to move through a vinyasa. And I'll meet you in downward facing dog. So good, everyone. Let's arrive here with a full breath in and a releasing breath out. Okay, we're going to make our way down onto our bums. So however you'd like to get there, you can jump through, dance through, step through, fall through, come all the way down. Place the feet down so you're near the end of the mat so that you've got space behind you. Feet are at hips width apart. Let's reach the arms forwards and then mindfully roll the spine all the way down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Awesome. And from here, we're going to ground the feet about hips width apart. Place the hands down beside your body. We're going to roll up into a bridge, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Let's start by spreading the toes, anchoring into the edges of the feet. And then before you lift the pelvis, just drawing the pubic bone up towards the ribs. And then begin to engage through the glutes as you drive into the feet and come all the way up into your bridge pose. And soften through the front ribs and tuck the chin slightly. Good, and then slowly make your way back down to the mat. We're going to do the same thing again. Option to repeat exactly what we just did. Option to place a block underneath your sacrum if you're looking for a little bit more of a restorative bridge. Or you can take any other bridge of your choice. Maybe you interlace the hands underneath your body and then walk the shoulders in so they're a little bit closer, just giving you a little bit more of an opening through the chest. If you feel warm enough and you'd like to move into Urdhva Dhanurasana, wheel pose, then of course this is an option as well. So if you're pushing up into wheel, you're going to place the hands beside the shoulders, fingertips facing the feet or the heels, and then press down into the arms as much as the legs as you press all the way up into your wheel. Slight firming of the glutes here. Working on straightening the arms as much as you can. Shifting a little bit of that compression through the lumbar spine, forwards up into the mid-spine and the shoulders so that the weight is nice and even. And then whenever you're ready to make your way down, slowly beginning to bend into the elbows, grounding into the crown of the head and then rolling the spine all the way down. Let's take the knees here to the width of the mat. Sorry, not the knees, the feet to the width of the mat. And then knock the knees in. Maybe you bring the hands onto the belly, onto the hip space. Just letting the pelvis, the spine, settle before moving into any big twists or flexing through the spine. Awesome. And then with the feet at the width of the mat, we're going to take the knees wide once again and then just let both of the knees float over to the left. Good, and then maybe for a little bit of leverage here, you pick up that left leg and place your left ankle on top of your right knee, just encouraging a little bit more of that internal rotation of that right hip. Nice, and then release through the legs. Feet to the width of the mat once again. Let's roll the knees up towards the ceiling and then take them all the way over to the right. And once again, option to create a little bit more leverage here through that left hip by picking up the right leg and placing the edge of that right foot or ankle on top of that left knee. And then unravel that leg and bring the legs through center. From here, we'll extend the legs out long. Find your Shavasana. And perhaps taking a moment here to have a quick body scan, working all the way from the tips of the toes to the crown of the head. And as you work your way through the body, Perhaps telling each of these body parts that it is safe to soften, release, let go. Letting every muscle, every bone, every cell of your being become soft and heavy. Meeting that softness of your physical body with the softness and steadiness of your breath. And when we create space in our bodies, in our minds, we have a capacity to create space through our energetic field, through our energy channels, our nadis. Creating space and stimulation through our energy centers, our chakras. What is it that you'd like to fill that space with? And this is where I'm going to leave you today, my friends, so that you're welcome to take as much time in Shavasana or in meditation as you need. Before I go, I'd just like to thank everybody who is joining me on this journey. Thank you for practicing, for flowing, and for breathing with me. Let's take a moment to honor and acknowledge the traditional roots of yoga and the various lineages that have passed down this sacred wisdom. And thank you so much for joining me, my friends, and I will see you again very soon.